Friends, in your arts period, you might have to perform such activity of putting the color on one side of a folded paper and then folding the paper so that it will spread evenly. This will develop a new figure which is definitely symmetric about the line of folding or the folding. Now, if I take the mirror image of such a figure, so you can see that in the mirror a new figure is formed, which is a reflection of the figure we have made, and now we can see that a new pattern is formed. The image which is formed in the mirror is of same shape and size of that of original figure and is symmetric about the line of reflection. The line of reflection is the line in between the reflection and the original image. So a new pattern can be generated with the help of symmetry. So for knowing this, we will now study about the patterns that are based on the symmetry. Let's see what are the different types of patterns now. We can see that a pattern is formed on this leaf. If we see a reverse of a leaf, we'll see a certain pattern which is formed on the leaves. On wood also, we'll see a certain pattern is formed by the grains of wood. These linings are known as grains of woods. We also see that on the different stones we will see the different patterns. These patterns which we find naturally on woods, stones, leaves, flowers, and on the spots of animals and stripes on animals, these are known as the natural patterns. The patterns made by human, which is artificially made by human, are known as artificial patterns. For example, you can see that a carpet which is having a design symmetric about, we can draw two axes of symmetry for this, like this and like this also. So this pattern which is made by humans, it's also known as the artificial pattern. One more pattern in front of you which is made on the wood, which is again symmetric about 1, 2, 3 and 4 axes, is also the pattern which is made by humans. We learn that pattern is nothing but the arrangement of different shapes in a particular manner, in a particular rule. So what are the different rules that we find of patterns? The patterns which found in the lines and shapes are having certain rules. One rule is of repetition. The patterns which are formed by repeating shape again and again. For example, here square, triangle, circle, square, triangle, circle. Here the repetition of shapes is occurring. This is known as a pattern. This also the repetition of two different shapes. This also shows the repetition of lines one after another. We will see that in this pattern also the shapes are repeated again and again. So this is nothing but a pattern due to repetitions. So you are going to see such type of pattern in the monuments, in the handicrafts, on the bed sheets, on the carpets, on the curtains in your homes. So such types of patterns which are made by human. Next rule is due to the increase in size. So you may have seen that when you throw a small piece of rock in the water, there are ripples. These ripples giving a beautiful pattern of increasing circles. Next rule, we will see that the pattern may occur due to the increase in number of shapes. Okay? one triangle is there. Below that, again increase in two triangles. Below that, increase in 1, 2, 3 triangles. This increasing in number of shape also gives a rise to the beautiful pattern. Then, basically, we will look in this chapter about the patterns which are formed by the symmetry. So, the patterns means the figures which are symmetric about the axis. We can use such figures for making beautiful patterns. We will see such type of patterns in the monuments, on the carpets, on the handicrafts. One more type of a pattern is the pattern due to rotation. You'll see that a simple F, the capital alphabet F, is rotated about a single point to make a beautiful pattern. We will also see the pattern in numbers. What is the pattern in numbers? In number pattern, in a number series, the numbers are occurring by a particular rule. For example, you take odd numbers. Odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. So these numbers, they are increasing by 2, they are changing by 2. So this creates a number pattern. And even number also. Even number pattern where the numbers are increasing by in the order of 2. So you can see that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and onwards, they are increasing by 2. So this also creates a pattern. You might have learned about the tables, number tables. So we can see that a table of 3 in which 3, 6, 9 and so on, the numbers, they are changing or increasing by 3. They are either increasing or decreasing by 3. So this creates a number pattern. The pattern which goes on without any end, it lasts on without any end, is known as a infinite pattern. For example, if I go on increasing this number 3, 6, 9, we are having 3 10s are 30. We can also have 3 11s are 33. Now this goes on infinitely. So if I am going on increasing number by 333, this will goes on infinitely. Such a pattern is known as an infinite pattern. On the other hand, which pattern end after a particular terms, end after few terms, is known as a finite pattern. For example, if I am taking a pattern of 15, 10, 5, what will be the next number in the pattern? 15, 10, 5. All these numbers are decreasing by 5. So at the end, we are getting 0. So here the pattern is ending. Such a pattern is known as finite pattern, in which we are having only 4 terms, 15, 10, 5 and 0. So this pattern is ending pattern and is known as a finite pattern. On the other hand, the pattern in which the number of terms goes on increasing and increasing and we don't have any end for the pattern is known as an infinite pattern. Next, what is meant by the triangular numbers and square numbers? Now take an example of your ruled page. If I put one dot on first row, then my first number is 1. Then if I put one dot on first row, 2 dot on the second, so the number of rows equal to the number of dots, or number of dots equal to number of rows. Here the total number of dots will be 3. If I take 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, on the first I will put 1 dot, on the second I put 2, on the third I put 1, 2, 3. Now you will see that they are going to form, if I join the outer points, they are going to form a triangle. Now you will see the number of points will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here you will find the number of dots will be 3. Again they are forming a triangle. Now if I take 1 dot on the first row, 2 on second, 3 on third and 1, 2, 3, 4 on fourth. Now, if I join the outer dots, what I will get again a triangle. So 1, 3, 6. Next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 10. So all these numbers, they are occurring in a particular manner. You see that the difference between 1 and 3 is 2. Now you can see that the difference in 3 and 6 is of 3. You will see the difference between 6 and 10 is of 4. So what will be the next number in this particular series? Yes, the difference in two numbers will be 5 and next number will be 50. So you will see that 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. These numbers, if they are arranged in a particular manner, if the dots are arranged in a particular manner, they are making a triangle. So these numbers are known as a triangular numbers. So they are increasing in a particular order. 1, 3, 6, 10 and 15. The difference goes on increasing by 1. So these numbers are known as triangular numbers. Now we will know about what is meant by a square number. Now, as we have done for a triangular number, for first line, for first row, I am taking one dot, one row, one dot. So first number is going to be 1. For a second row, for a second time, I am going to take 2 dots on the first row, on 2 dots on the second row. So number of columns, now number of columns will be equal to the number of rows. So in such a case, I am getting, if I join all the points, I am getting a square. How many dots are there? How many points are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here I am getting dots 2 by 2. So this is first square, this is the second square number. If I take 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and if I put 3 columns, 1, 2 and 3. Again, if I join outer points, what I get again a square, and this will be, number of dots will be 9. So 3 rows, 3 columns. There are 2 rows, 2 columns. 1 row, 1 column. What we are getting is the multiplication of natural numbers or counting numbers 1, 2 and 3 with itself. Again, if I take 4 dots, 4 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4 again, 4 columns. So again, I will get a figure which is nothing but a square. So here the number of dots will be 16, which is nothing but 4 rows, 4 columns. Such a numbers are known as a square numbers. If the dots are arranged in a particular manner, I am getting the square. Even a number multiplied by itself is known as a square of a number. So you can see that these numbers, they are occurred in a particular order. For example, a number multiplied by number multiplied by 1 is 1, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, and 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. Such a numbers, they are known as square numbers, and this series of numbers is unending and is an infinite number series. We have already seen what is meant by symmetry. If I can divide the object with an imaginary line into 2 equal parts such that one part is a mirror image of other, it's exactly the same size, of same shape and size of the other part, such a object or such a part is known as a symmetric part. And the line which divides the parts into 2 equal halves is known as a line of symmetry. Now you can see that this particular object can be divided into 2 equal parts by drawing a vertical line about its center, and is known as a symmetric part. We can also draw a slipping line, and the object can be divided into 2 equal parts by this line also. So let us go what is mean, and let us know what is mean by vertical line of symmetry and horizontal line of symmetry. So if I can divide the object into 2 equal parts by drawing a vertical line through it, then the part is said to be symmetric about the vertical axis, and the line which is drawn is known as a vertical line of a symmetry. Now, if I can divide the object or part into two equal halves or two equal half parts in such a way that one part is a mirror image of other, it's known as horizontal line of symmetry, and the part is said known as horizontally symmetric part. Why we are studying about the symmetry is we want to make the pattern by using the symmetric figures. The patterns that leads by reproduction of symmetric figures, by rearrangement of symmetric figures, by repetitive arrangement of symmetric figures will look very nice and gives a very good patterns. For example, you are going to see a pattern which is created on handicrafts, wooden handicrafts. So you can see that this pattern is symmetric about a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. You will see that the same figure, the same shape is reproduced on other side of the axis of the symmetry. This gives a very good looking and very good feel. You'll see such type of figures on the carpets also, where we are going to use the symmetric figures to make a new patterns. We'll find the symmetry in words too. You'll see that there is a word wow in front of me. If I draw a horizontal line of symmetry through O, then I will see that the half of a word is exactly similar to the half of a word. Don't get confused with the symmetry of individual letters and symmetry of word. In this case, we are talking about the symmetry of word about the single axis. So if I draw a vertical line, you'll see that the word, half of the word is symmetric about the remaining half. Even the word tooth. Where shall I draw the line of symmetry? Shall I draw a horizontal line of symmetry? No. If I draw a vertical line exactly in between the two O's, you will see that the first half of a word is exactly symmetric about the second half. What about the word book? Shall I draw a horizontal line of symmetry? Yes. So in the word book, I will see that if I draw a horizontal line of symmetry, it will divide the word into two equal parts. Upper half is mirror image of the remaining half. Such a figure is known as a water image. From where shall I draw the line of symmetry for life? Vertical or a horizontal? Yes, it's definitely horizontal. So if I divide the word by drawing a horizontal line, it will be symmetric about the horizontal line. The word by is also symmetric about the horizontal line. Now let us see the symmetry of some of the letters and words from English alphabet. I have written digits from 0 to 9, and I have written some English alphabets on the board. Let us see which of these are symmetric. We can see that digit 0 is symmetric about both horizontal and vertical line of symmetry. 3 is symmetric about horizontal line of symmetry. 1, 2, 4, 5 are neither symmetric, are not symmetric about any of the axes. 6, 7 will see that 8 is symmetric about vertical line of symmetry. This is known as also axis of symmetry. What about alphabet A? If I draw a vertical line through the point of A, it can be divided into two equal parts. So A is symmetric. B is symmetric about the horizontal line. C about horizontal. D about horizontal line of symmetry. E is also symmetric about horizontal line of symmetry. F is not symmetric. G not symmetric. H symmetric about vertical as well as horizontal line of symmetry. I symmetric about both the axes of symmetry. J is not symmetric. K symmetric about the horizontal line of symmetry. Now you will find the symmetry of the remaining letters of English alphabet.